Hi, my name is Cigdem Benam, and I am an MBA student at University of Pittsburgh, Katz Business School. I will be introducing Value Forward advertising campaign. The tagline I chose for this is rooted in history, rising together. As Value has an interesting history, and that dates a couple of centuries. I wanted to emphasize its historical nature as well as like the new combined with the old. And marketing campaign will highlight obviously Bellevue Forward as an agent trying to catalyze that new dynamism. And it will aim to highlight unique attributes of the region and position it as a community economic development case, which I think it is very relevant to what Bellevue Forward is trying to do. And then position the organization as an actor to attract and connect ideas, places, and people. It will target young adults. That actually is the main kind of group of people living in the region. And then it will also target entrepreneurs and community activists. First, the agenda. We already mentioned about the executive summary. We will introduce the company Value Forward. We'll do a brief SWOT analysis, trying to understand its strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Then we'll do a situational analysis, followed by a marketing strategy and a marketing mix. We'll explain what we chose, why we chose. And then I will introduce the hero ads, then followed by the three subordinate variations. And we'll summarize what we have introduced and how to move forward. First, the company Value Forward is a grassroots nonprofit organization founded to promote economic growth and cultural engagement in Bellevue. It offers community engagement, economic development initiatives, cultural events, and local business support. It has the broader mission to strengthen community ties and stimulate economic growth by connecting residents, businesses, and visitors. And current market position, it's recognized locally, but with limited brand awareness beyond immediate residents. Aims to become a regional leader in community building and economic vibrancy. We hope this advertising campaign eventually can contribute to that. In terms of SWOT analysis, strengths are like it has a clear value prop, right? Economic development is a major challenge for especially these older communities where it used to have like anchor tenants. And for Bellevue, actually, it used to have an anchor tenant, which was the AHN hospital. As these anchor tenants disappear, these communities have faced challenge in sustaining economic vibrancy. It also has strong partnerships, strong community ties. In terms of weakness, it has limited funds. It does rely on donors, similar to a lot of nonprofits. It also lacks differentiation in some ways, like economic development, community building. These are buzzwords for a lot of other nonprofits too. And it didn't seem like there's deep economic development expertise among the team. In terms of opportunities, there's young and dynamic population, especially of the community that they reside. And there is also increasing interest in building self-sustaining local communities. That is, again, very relevant where there is this anchor tenant, which is a healthcare organization. As all the like payment models and everything is changing in the US, these health organizations will have to be closed down. So AHN Hospital that resided at the heart of Bellevue is actually an interesting experiment, interesting case that could be learned from, and that if successful, that could be an example for the rest of the country. And then in terms of threats, changing priorities of donors and lack of momentum to prove value add from the perspective of organization could be all threats. From a situational analysis perspective, who are the Bellevue, tenants, and trying to understand market demographics, highest percentage of age group is between 30 and 39. So basically working young adults, and you know, they are mostly single and they are mostly white actually. So there is a lot of talk about diversity, but actually region is not necessarily as diverse. And median household income is 64K, which is, I think, probably either on par or below national average. There is also interestingly 10% of the people are actually below poverty line. And in terms of market growth trends, like as I already mentioned, there's an interesting project and experiment taking place at the Old Age and Bellevue Hospital. There is now an innovation center, so that creates some sort of vibrancy already in the region. Nationally, there's also a search for new economic development models. So there is interest in all these efforts. And in terms of competition, obviously Pittsburgh has a lot of emphasis on economic development. There's a lot of foundations, there's a lot of nonprofits. And there's also one more nonprofit that has the same emphasis or like efforts directed towards Bellevue. In terms of marketing strategy, I chose a campaign rooted in history, rising together. Bellevue is not a new geography or a new region. It does have a couple of centuries old history, which I think is its strength. I think the key is connecting that old history to the new and the modern. That is the reiteration of the region. The focus should be on hope, connection, action, and agency of the citizens or the community members there. We will have smart objectives. We're going to be trying to increase social media engagements, generate at least 150 new newsletter signups during the campaign, and then improve local event participation by 15%. Now our target audience is 25 to 55, which covers actually definitely more than 60% of the community in Bellevue. We'll target all genders, and location, we will target Bellevue as well as other neighboring townships at Pittsburgh region at large. We will use marketing mix like video series, testimonials from residents and business owners. It's always, personally I think at least, it's always great to hear things from real people. So I propose using the true Bellevue tenants, and potentially new entrepreneurs who settle in Bellevue, and hearing their story, their needs, and why they feel excited. Social media coverage. We could engage community with Bellevue Forward, and can also have digital banners and sponsored ads on social platforms. And but also finally, I propose using print flyers and posters, more traditional marketing tools. Why we chose this concept? It captures Bellevue's actual buildings and people and character, as you're going to see in the posters in a minute. It creates emotional resonance and flexibility. You can use it in different social media settings, and it creates a unified identity, builds a single story for Bellevue's revitalization. So the first actually flyer, or the first kind of ad, is going to be this one, rooted in history, rising together, that represents across generations, hand in hand, peacefully looking at the future, I would say. The second one is an entrepreneur, a more service-oriented restaurant business, a young chef opening the door to a newly renovated eatery, and the tagline is going to be new ideas, old souls, build your future in Bellevue. Another one is the emphasizing, because of our actually target age, emphasizing the family, the value and centeredness of family, raising a family, growing a neighborhood. And finally, enjoying the nature, close to the city, closer to what matters. And as a conclusion, we propose executing this campaign with strong community involvement, monitoring key KPIs, and adjusting tactics as needed. and ensuring that Bellevue Forward becomes a key community leader. Thank you.